There's an old saying that if you don't know your history, you would not know your destiny. If you don't know where you're coming from, it'll be very, very hard to plan where you're going. The person I'm going to present to you here is a guy that knows a bit about Jamaica's history, and he's urging Jamaicans to learn their history so that that would affect the decisions they make in the future and what would happen to them in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, take a listen. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Message to Jamaica.
Yeah, man, at the humble top. Y'all don't shoot the messenger, man. Just listen to the message. I got a message for Jamaica. I got a question for Jamaica. Y'all worried about who the king of dancehall is, and y'all need to worry who is the king of Jamaica. You need to take a look at your constitution. You know what I'm saying? Because I took a look at the constitution. I'm in disgust. I can't believe what my eyes saw. I can't believe I had to go research, and this shit is real. So Jamaica is a monarchy. In 1962, on the way to independence, they were supposed to become a part of the states of the West Indies. They had a flag with 8 waves and a sun in the middle, 8 blue waves and a sun in the middle. You know what I'm saying? But through the Queen and her men, you know what I'm saying, our republic was shot down in the Constitution. Our republic was shot down in the Constitution. You had people like Leonard Howell at the pinnacles, setting up a culture and trying to teach Jamaicans that they got their own culture outside of British culture, revive themselves, and they could rule their governments, their parliament through this culture, and would be a true Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? And other people was in part for the republic, but you had Big Dirty Buster Monte and Big Dirty Mr. Manley. So let me tell you who these people are. Buster Monte is GBE. GBE means you know who he is as far as your prime minister and the first and all that. But I'm going to tell you who he is secretly by the order. That man named GBE. GBE means he's a knight to the order of the queen. Or the king, whoever is governing the House of Sophia or Hanover. You see what I'm saying? He's the knight to her order. Manley, he's privy council, which means he was the lawyer to the order. You know what I'm saying? Set up the system to put the governor general in place. So you guys signed up to be an independent monarchy, which means the House of Hanover, a Sophia, her family owns the island. They don't even got to be in power in England. They rule it in a different governance as kings and queens of Jamaica. They hereditary own Jamaica by bloodline, by the House of Hanover, Sophia, which is a German family, but it rules England today. Prince Charles III is your king right now as we speak. By constitutional rights, has the privy and passive power to fire any of your prime ministers at any time he decides he wants it to happen. You know what I'm saying? There's no land owned by Jamaican. The Jamaican government don't own no land. The Jamaican government work for the king. The prime minister is one of the only people that could talk to the governor general and the king. Could go see the boss man or the queen when she died, so now it's the king. You know what I'm saying? Queen's house now is king's house. You know what I'm saying? Parliament, the king's man, not the queen's man no more. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, you do not own the land and you're not sovereign. You're underneath the monarchy. You know what I'm saying? Which you give under the Constitution, you give the rights to the House of Hanover and Sophia, who hereditary own the land. So you haven't become a republic. Your whole face is colonialism. You're still in colonialism. You're one of the only people in this, in fact, the only in this hemisphere to be still under the rulership of a colonial government, a colonial system, colonial kings and queens that's foreign from your land. You have a foreign ruler that's the king of Jamaica. So when your government sells land to China, they can't sell land to China because the Jamaican people are selling land to China. No, the governor general got to sign off on that. And before the governor general signed off on that, he got to go to the king or the queen at the time, or now the king, and ask, look, do you want to sell this land? Do you get permission to sell this land? So once you get permission, then the governor general going to give the government permission to sell the land. When the money coming, who you think the money going to? Straight to the king. Look at your constitution, bro. Look at your constitution, brother. God, you know Jamaicans, we look up to y'all, you know what I'm saying? And I wish y'all wasn't in this predicament, but I know y'all are powerful people. And maybe y'all not aware of this predicament. So now it's time to put all the energy to that. Talking about who's the king of dancehall. That's entertainment, brother. That's the shit they give y'all to entertain yourself away. Got your children violent. Got people doing all the most immoral things. That's the weapon that they used against y'all. Fuck human aspect of this, you know what I'm saying? Who's the king of this and the dancehall? Like, who the biggest drug dealer? Who the biggest killer? Not. Who is the king of Jamaica and why is he the king of Jamaica? And why does he own everything in your island? Why are you still a face of colonialism in 2025? You have a monarchy governed by a foreign king and queen. Tell me, explain that to me. The governor general rule the army, the port constable, and the prime minister. They all work for the governor general, which is the crown. And the governor general is the head man or the overseer for the king or the queen of the House of Hanover or Sophia. Because they're not designated when you say the king and queen of England. They're the king and queen of England over there as the House of Sophia and Hanover. You know what I'm saying? Windsor. Named after the castle. You know what I'm saying? But in Jamaica, they're the king and the queen by hereditary bloodline as the king and queen of Jamaica. Nothing to do with Britain. And that's what Bustamante and Manley signed into your constitution, fought y'all down from a republic, try to burn down the pinnacles and prosecute Rasta, run down Howard Powell and all that because these people wanted a republic. So y'all made him your national. Makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Manly, y'all let Manly, two people that don't look like y'all, lead y'all into slavery, after slavery. Makes sense. Y'all got to take care of this Jamaica. I know y'all got the strength. Y'all got the power. I know y'all could do it. Y'all got to become a republic. Y'all got to tell y'all government right now, whoever's the president right now, like, yo, we want to become a republic. Like all the other Caribbean countries. We don't want to be no monarchy. We want our land. So until you become a republic, you don't have no land. Until the king and the queen of England is in your constitution as the rightful rulers of Jamaica, you don't own nothing. It's all fugazi. It's all in the air. Y'all don't see that. Y'all don't know that. Go read the shit up. The monarchy of Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Guyana's a republic. Trinidad a republic. Barbados said fuck became a republic. When are y'all going to say fuck I'm a republic? You know what I'm saying? Right now, the strength is in Sankara. The Sankara movement. I'm Hebrew Sankara. You have young Tory, Abraham Torre Sankara over there. We rest in peace, Tamo Sankara. You know what I'm saying? We about liberation, freedom of the Akan First Nation. You know what I'm saying? So, look, it's time y'all do what y'all supposed to do. Stop all this bullshit talk and take care of the issues at home. And the issues at home right now that you're not a republic and your constitution is a slave-ass constitution and you are children and property of the crown. Property of the crown. That's why y'all can go to England anytime y'all want and all of that. That's why so much Jamaicans in England. Property of the don't own not a piece of land in Jamaica. You might own it through the government, but the government don't own shit. They just playing with y'all, bro. They just they like an illusion in front of you that has made reality because the government is set up to control the population, you know what I'm saying? Make them think that they have some sort of underneath what you call universal suffrage. You hear them want you to suffer universally. That you forget to vote. Before it was if you had property or you was wealthy, you could vote. But they said universal suffrage. To govern this universal suffrage, you had to create these parties to partition the people, keep them divided so you could conquer them. You know what I'm saying? But really, the rulership is underneath the House of Hanover and Sophia. I'm not making this up. Jamaicans, go check it out. Y'all need to take care of this before y'all can step up into the business of liberation and freedom. Sisla Wappen, how come you never tell me about this? Cape Town, what happened? How come you never tell us about this? Sir P, all the snitching and writing, how come you did not investigate about this? You know what I'm saying? King of Dancehall, Alkali.